Y'all, how blessed are we to have a representative like this guy? I'm telling you. You know, the great thing about our Republican primary is we had 7 people that would have made a better United States Senator than Michelle Nunn, right? I got 4 names for you today. Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid, Barack Obama, Michelle Nunn. I don't see much difference, y'all. They're going to try to tell us there's a difference. She's talking about, oh, we all need to work together. We need to just listen to each other. We need to work together and be friends. Well, yeah, we heard that in 2008, didn't we? That gave us President Obama. And what'd that give us? He said, I'll cut the deficit in half. What'd he do? 6 years later, we've almost doubled that debt. He said, I'll bring open government. What'd he do? He had a supermajority. He went behind closed doors and he crammed Dodd-Frank and Obamacare down our throat. 2 of the most insidious laws in the history of America. And I have to tell you, this race is going to be about reality versus lies, about individual liberty versus the state. What this administration is trying to do is perpetrate a new America, y'all. And that is where the state knows more about your health insurance than you do, more about your education than you do, and wait till they tell you where you ought to bank, what car you ought to buy, what house you ought to live in, and what county you ought to live in. I mean, that's the state. That's what they believe in. As Republicans, I agree with Phil. If you look at our funding, our foundation in the Republican Party, it's what we've got to get back to. Economic opportunity, not guarantees, economic opportunity. Fiscal responsibility. You know, I was raised in Middle Georgia by 2 school teachers. I tell you, if we didn't have it, you didn't spend it. It was just a lesson you all know and we all know it, but Washington's got to get back into that. The third thing is limited government. If you look at the Founding Fathers and they realize we're spending 25% of our GDP on the federal government, the bureaucracy, they'd roll over in their grave. And the last one is the most serious in my mind, is individual liberties. Right now, this country is being threatened from within by a leadership that is throwing their thumb in their nose at our 3-branch of government system. And it's, listen, if you don't hear anything else today in this race, listen to this. The Democrats want cooperation, bipartisanship. Well, the number one reason they want that is because that's a lie. It's a story. It's a lie right out of their plan. We've seen their plan. Here's the reality. Today, we have bipartisanship. It's called the U.S. House of Representatives, right, Congressman? If you look at what's going on today, there are over 300 bills sitting on Harry Reid's desk. 50 plus of those bills are Democrat bills. There are over half of those bills are passed with a 2/3 majority, which means that they are absolutely bipartisan bills. Now they're stuck on Harry Reid's desk. Why? Because the president does not want them heard on the floor of the Senate. And the reason is he has found out how to run America, run our government, run your lives and my life by executive order and regulatory mandate. Just give you one example. They couldn't get EPA passed. That was going to be the 3rd leg of the table with Dodd-Frank and Obamacare. They couldn't get cap and trade, so he turned around and told the EPA to kill coal. They did it in a year. Congress had no voice in that. And that's what this president is doing right now all across our country. And I'm telling you, it's got to stop. This race is going to come down to Michelle Nunn talking about bipartisanship and me talking about the following. Jobs, the economy, debt. Every family in this place, every one of us, has a $1 million credit card bill given to us by our federal government. And most of that, almost half of it, is given to us by this administration in the last 6 years alone. Now, y'all, that's got to stop. The second thing is I really believe we got to get America working again. We live in a state that's the #1 place in the country to do business. The #1 place in the country. And I'm very excited about our prospects going forward. The best days of America are ahead of us. Watch this. If we just get the regulators to back off small business, change our tax code, and unlock our energy resources, y'all, this economy will bust out. We can have another 100 years like we've had the last 60 years of the greatest economic boom in the history of mankind. Now, I'm really excited about being in Floyd County today because this was the first event that I attended a year ago with Phil Gingrey and 7 other people up here. I was scared to death that y'all gave us 5 minutes to talk, and it was just, it was hot like this. Well, we all survived. We got through it. I'm excited today because I'm announcing that the GOP I'm so excited that the GOP has a new office here in Rome. I think we open it next week. And Cassie, raise your hand back here. Cassie is our volunteer to head that up. I'm also excited that the governor's here. I'm also excited John Padgett's here. And being new to this, I've never been in politics before. Being your nominee, I take very seriously. We are not going to lose this race, and we're not going to give Harry Reid one more vote in that United States Senate. And there's a reason why. Two reasons here today. One is Governor Deal and Sandra, and the other is John Padgett, the head of the GOP in the state. Give John a hand. Well, John's going to come talk to you about what we're doing in this state to make sure that we hold this seat as a red seat, Senate seat from Saxby-Chambliss' seat, that we keep Governor Deal going in the economic development jobs program that he's got going, and that we do our part to make sure we take the United States Senate back from Harry Reid. John, I think you're next, aren't you? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, well, I'm doing a great introduction here. All right. Thank y'all. God bless you.